Are we on Pornhub now too?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wrestling Fans Sunday Takedown. And this feels really weird because I am here. My co-host, William. How you doing, bro?
I think I survived everything, so I'd say I'm okay.
All right. And we have our other co-host, Carlos. How you doing, brother?
Good.
Just good?
Muy bueno. The guy who's been holding the show down for the last 2 weeks. Carlos is here. Yes, guys, don't worry. I'm still here.
We had to put your ass to work somehow, you know.
I'm used to white people putting Mexicans to work. It's gonna.
You know, you always seem to try to like instigate something that we do to you, but no, we don't even go there. So with this week going forward,
You're usually the one that throws up the first monkey emoji. So you're the one instigating too. So don't play Britney Spears here, dude. We all know you're Taylor Swift.
Hey, I own it because I'm the one that created the banner. Much like this one. This is Carlos's Bad Monkey Nacho Cheese Popcorn segment. So, and Carlos is always going to own that, by the way. So,
are you in Canada now? I was like,
hey. Right, eh?
Right? You know?
Yeah, sure. No, that actually I think was trademarked by Ted the Hillbilly Hill because he was always saying, But first and foremost, yeah, it's been a while. I actually came back Wednesday night on Carlos's space, but today we're actually back in full force in some capacity. But I do want to take the minute to say thank you to all the prayers and the well wishes everyone's mentioned. Many of you know us personally. We went through a little bit of a family emergency the last couple of weeks. So thank you for everything and the support that you all shown. Also, a big thank you to Carlos and Bryan for taking the time to help host the show while we've been away, as well as Chris Haas. And didn't you have one other person?
Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah Golding, Execution 84 on the X app. I want to wish or say thank you to each and every one of you for holding up the fort while William and I have been gone. So we appreciate that and appreciate each and every one of you. Today's episode's just going to be a random. I didn't really have much in place. Although the funny part is the one time I actually watched most of the week program is the one where I don't have much to say. Well, I did have a little bit to say on Carlos's when I didn't see much of the wrestling. Go figure how that worked. But
you got stuck in your own head. That's what happened.
I know, that's weird. Well, we still got a lot going on personally, and you know that because you're dealing with a lot of it at home anyway. So
yeah.
But were you able to watch much of it this week, Will?
I got through everything except for Battle of the Belts. Overall, I thought it was an incredibly solid week. I like the fact that they're giving as much attention to Sky Blue as they are, but I think they're focusing way too much at this point.
Like they could be spreading some of that around.
Well, there's other women in the division. Come on.
Well, I don't know. I think they did a great job featuring a couple others, but not necessarily all on Sky Blue. But there is a main part to that story. Carlos, what's your thoughts on this week's programming?
Well, I as a good wrestling podcaster watch all the programming, because I should do my homework. Who am I kidding? I have no life. So no, but I watched it. I think SmackDown, and I think the thing about SmackDown that makes it so good is that they do have a lot of stars on there, and so I feel like it feels like, man, they got to fit everybody. They got to try to fit everybody on here. So I think SmackDown just flows better because they only have 2 hours. I thought SmackDown was really good. I thought Cena's speech was really good. I thought all the programming was really good. I thought Mystico and Rocky Romero killed it on Rampage. I was amazed by that match. Again, that's the same guy who wrestled in WWE Sin Cara. Like, you got to be kidding me. I guess it's funny. Maybe he just can't handle the bright lights of WWE, but that match was amazing. I thought all of it was really good. Only thing for me that was kind of, I even watched Impact. I watched most Impact, and they cooked too. If you look at my banner thing that says Will Ospreay Wrestler of the Year, him and Mike Bailey absolutely knocked it out of the park yesterday. It was a good week for wrestling, and I think, and I really liked, I liked Collision a lot. Battle of the Belts was good. The crowd was dead. Do they think they're at Arthur Ashe? They're like at a tennis match because they would only like clap for like the intros and that was it. But no, it was a good week for wrestling.
How'd you feel about the LA Knight Paul Heyman interaction?
I thought it was good. I think, it's just kind of, it feels kind of like they're trying too hard, I guess. And to me, I thought it was good. I don't know why. I feel like Roman should have been there. I don't know. What was give me your thoughts and I'll bounce off of you.
I would actually have to agree with the fact that Roman should have been there for that. If they were going to elevate it to the point that they did, it should have been elevated.
Yeah. And for me now with Triple H being in charge, I hope that he like makes Roman come to work more or just utilize the dates. Like, it doesn't make sense especially like for like, and it didn't make sense. Why wasn't the rest of the bloodline out there with Paul Heyman? To me, honestly, I this whole storyline for me just isn't cooking because to me, I wish it was John Cena. I wish they were giving John Cena that 17 title reign. I think they were given something in their lap with John Cena coming back, and I think they should have executed on it. And I don't care if the fact that to me, like, for all that John Cena's done for wrestling, I think he is the greatest of all time, just because he never left. He didn't leave like The Rock. He kept his word. He's tried to come back and give to the fans. He hasn't got to Hollywood yet to where he forgets about the WWE universe, and for him to like keep coming back. To me, like, and then he had to carry the product at a time where it was PG. I mean, to do all that, to have that WWE banner for what he does for Make-A-Wish, especially, like, to me, like, John Cena should like, to me, like, right now it should be John Cena defeating Roman Reigns to be the 17-time champion. Even if the Hollywood strike got called to Hollywood the next week and he dropped the belt to Cody or whatever, like, I'd be okay with that, because to me, sometimes you got to right the wrongs, and Triple H is doing that with so many things right now. With me, that's one thing I feel with the programming. He's trying to make up for all this lost time for the women, but it's like he's putting all this stuff on too much for these wrestlers, and it's like, just do it slowly instead of trying to make up for all this time that Vince took away from him.
So about 2 or 3 steps maybe per program instead of trying to take 50.
Exactly, and that's just too much. Like, I get that you want to try to get these women on TV, but at the same time, you have so many other stars that need to get on here, and it's like just give it more to them. And that goes back to the Sky, like your comment about Sky Blue, and we can get into it more too. But that's one thing for me. It's like when I was watching Collision last night, it's like you had Miro who just defeated Will Hobbs, and again he went over on Will Hobbs at your pay-per-view, and you have nothing to follow up on that besides this dumb storyline with his wife, which doesn't again, it's stupid. It's a stupid storyline, but yeah, you're gonna waste all this time on Sky Blue. It just, they keep losing the momentum of people, and they need to fix that. And it's like they're trying to do with Sky Blue, but it doesn't make sense, because after she lost her match, where whoever she fought for the title, I think it might have been, I forget the last time she got a title shot, but she she lost like matches for 2 months straight, and now she's supposed to be a big star again. There's no flow, and they need to just, and I get, but like, I think both companies are trying too hard, too fast with some things, and a lot of stuff's getting lost in the way. I know I went to 20 different directions with that one question, but
yeah,
we can break it all down as we talk about the shows and stuff. But yeah.
I was going to say, did Tony Khan write your script today or what?
Hey, wow.
Well, I just kind of wonder because I think Carlos pretty much covered the entire podcast in 2
And we're done. Thank you guys. Like I'll be like Excalibur, I said it all in 2 minutes. And we're done.
Well,
Yeah, Wednesday night.
We can
I'll be up
make
here
this
in 2
we can
hours,
make this a YouTube. This can be a YouTube short today.
well, at least he's not going to make us sit through 6 hours of unexpected material.
But that's true. So
Oh my god! Like I haven't looked at the Ring of Honor tapings yet. I'm like, did he record 2 hours Ring of? Hopefully, he only did an hour Ring of Honor today for those poor fans.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, to do your collision 2 hours, Battle of the Belts 1 hour, and then fucking Ring of Honor right after. Oh,
Well, I'm assuming I'm hoping he only did an hour before because that would just be brutal.
oh yeah. There's no way in hell. I think Bobby Cruz would probably want to smack the shit out of him too.
And then, of course, what I noticed after the show that we went to, a whole bunch of people on there complaining about the lack of fans and whatnot. You weren't there.
Yeah.
You have no idea what we went through. It was traumatizing.
Well, the problem is
So talk about your guys' experience for real quick go into more detail about what your experience was at the event.
so
I didn't realize that you went with them, Will.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, William was there, same with Sarah.
And Sarah, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, all three.
I saw Sarah and I didn't see William on TV. I mean, I wasn't just looking close enough.
Well, there was a guy in front of me that was constantly holding up a sign, standing up.
Yeah. Like, I'm surprised you could even spot any of us because
Well, I saw you when Ricky Stark's coming out and you're making that sour face like you just shit your pants.
that was my happy face.
I'm like, and that's why I'm like, show some respect for Ricky Starks, damn you.
Oh, I'll show you respect when I give him full moon. I'll give him the solar eclipse right there.
I mean,
lunar eclipse.
I mean, minus a couple of slip ups, they came out, they did collision, and they did a bang up job with it. We weren't really expecting that Ring of Honor thing afterwards, and it just seemed like it was just killing us towards the end of the night.
Well, the start time changed too, which kind of threw us all off because that had to make it 1 hour earlier than what we planned to leave camp.
Yeah,
which made it already tight enough as is before that change. But I thought I loved the entire event. I just don't know if it was really worth staying there for what was it? We were in that arena for nearly 5-6 hours.
We entered it, I think
3:30.
3:30.
Yeah, we entered at 3:30 and we left like literally at 9:30 at night. And I'm just sitting there thinking,
what time did it start?
It started at 4 o'clock. Was it 4 o'clock or 5?
4:30.
4:30.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, because
they did our two bonus matches.
Yeah, we had a dark match just before we went live. So yeah, we didn't. The first match started. The dark match started at 4:30. So an hour after they started letting the fans in, we were literally there at 3:30 in our seats and everything. And so, to wait an hour just for the first match to take place. Yeah, it was a little bit long, in my opinion.
Did they tell you guys we're going to film 2 hours of Ring of Honor afterwards or what?
They didn't say anything until Tony waddled out.
Yeah, they waited till just right before the dark match to let us know what they were doing. And I'm like, oh, Tony, this is terrible.
So back to what I said, people sitting there complaining online about how fans are getting up and leaving and not really behind it. Well, God, man.
In some way, I can understand why the fans left. The problem is Salt Lake is more of a WWE crowd than probably an AEW crowd. Is that more than fair?
Yeah, and in Utah, we really don't have that big of a following as far as professional wrestling goes.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, if you were back in the day able to get cable, probably mostly your old timers back then, they were probably the only ones that actually watched professional wrestling, not the WWF or WWE stuff. So, but not very many people had cable back in the day. So it's hard for our demographic to really appreciate the pro wrestling aspect of professional wrestling. But where WWE's been global for quite some time now, I mean, yeah, that's been exposed almost everywhere, especially when it came to free market TV back then. They were just all over the place. They were on TV, cable, everything. Pro wrestling was only on cable, and so I think one, that's what kind of hurts some of our Utah fan base. But two, I don't think AEW did a really great job marketing this for us local.
Well, maybe next year, they could do like you pay for one wife, the other three get in for free.
Well, actually, they did that. They actually did a 2-for-1 right the last couple of days.
I don't know if you guys heard, like, and that's the thing. I think the biggest thing right now with the AEW is they need to just get their pricing and their things in line, because I feel like we were talking about this on the other podcast, and I feel like they don't. I feel like, and this is I don't feel like Tony really cares about the money for the arenas, because he's going into all these big arenas. Like he's more just about putting on the production value. And I think he's more worried about like getting the big, the big TV rights deal. But and I think that's the case. So if that's the case, just sell your tickets for $10 and fill it up, man. Like I don't get why he's still like trying to like he's trying to show the product's hot by charging more money, but that strategy is just not working. And I honestly feel like he's more worried about putting the product on TV. So I feel like he should just do tickets for like $10 and call it a day.
Well, at some point though, he's going to need to care, because the more you don't fill those arenas up and you keep booking them, you're eventually going to lose too much money at some point. And you don't have an endless bank account. And I know that's kind of a poor choice to say with the cons and all that, but yeah, at some point on a business sense, you got to look at, is this really worth keeping doing? And if it's not, eventually you're going to have to cut it. And that's my worry for Collision, is keeping those stadiums full. If you don't keep them full, one, you're not even breaking even. That's already the worst part, because I believe WWE actually, if they break even, it's a good day. But
yeah,
usually they lose money on the television lives and recordings. So that's something Tony really needs to look at on a business sense. But I remember listening to you, I believe while we were gone, where you mentioned that was one of Tony's biggest problems, is he doesn't book like a indie promoter. He books like he's big time. And not saying there's anything wrong with that, but right now you're not quite big time. Your company's going into its 5th season of television broadcasting. You need to get something to get those butts in seats. You need to promote your events better. You can't just rely off a word of mouth or just flashing, say, oh, hey, we're coming to Salt Lake, or, we're coming to some other Podunkville,
Yeah. And he needs to quit going to arenas that WWE was at, because like wasn't WWE in the arena like a couple weeks before too?
Well, yeah, see, that's the other problem. WWE was at the Delta Center, which is about 5 miles, within a 5-mile radius of the Maverick Center, which is where AEW was. I mean, those are two different venues. The Delta Center obviously held more and actually had every seat filled when we went to Monday Night Raw, where Maverick Center is much less. I think we're talking like a 5,000 to 6,000 individual seat.
Yeah, it's not very big
difference. And yet he couldn't even get the Maverick Center filled, which is scary, because to me, that Maverick Center, if you promote it right, you should fill that up real easy.
And that's where I agree with some of the things that I read. Like they cut off half of that arena.
Well, yeah, that's for the hard camera side.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to bring that up too, to you dumbasses that keep bringing this shit up on social media. I see this on Facebook, X app, everywhere. If you don't think WWE did this at all, you're fucking wrong, because William and I have been to many Raws and SmackDowns, not just here in Salt Lake. I've seen it out of state, where they have to have one side where they tarp it and have a hard camera side. So don't just. Well,
I mean, just like last year when they went to Detroit, they literally cut off half the stadium. I mean, that's like that's when they do the stadium shows too. And finish your thought. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I mean, that's just the thing that pisses me off, is they think they see AEW doing this and they're exposing something that AEW is not doing things right. Well, no, it's not that. It's
They're-
just AEW is not has not been around as long as WWE, but two,
they're still working on growing.
they're still working on growing. AEW, I'm not saying isn't gonna. I can't really guarantee they're going to be in business in 5 years or more, but you can't just base their business off the fact that they had to tarp off a section for the hard camera side.
So to your point, do you think that they should have done like $10 tickets just to get people to come in and see and experience the product?
I think they could have reduced the price greatly. I mean, one, like I said, you're not a big time show, but two, you're in a venue where it doesn't seat as much. So the high prices are definitely something that probably could have looked at, because when we went in and saw that what seats were available lower than what we seen seats that were way closer for the same price what we paid for.
But I think the thing people need to realize too is a lot of it's Ticketmaster, you know, and that's what people don't realize is like a lot of it's Ticketmaster in the way they do the pricing, because they're trying to get more money too, and that's the thing people need to realize. It's not just AEW, it's Ticketmaster. Because if you're a smart fan, like when I just got my tickets for Collision in Oakland, I bought them on the pre-sale, and I got the second row for $86. So again, if you're gonna wait around, you're gonna pay more money, because that's how it works. You got to buy them the day of the event, and that's how you get the cheaper tickets. Because once all those lower seats are sold, they're gonna go up in price, because that's how Ticketmaster works. You know, so you got to buy it the day of you got to buy it on the pre-sale.
Yeah, if you can ever get in the pre-sale, do it. Don't wait, because chances are it's very rare you're going to see prices go down unless you're paying attention to your local radio ads that are promoting the event, where you can get the tickets free by winning some weird contest. But very rarely the tickets go down. As it gets closer, the tickets go up. So you want to get right on top of that. Plus, you're able to get your seats where you want to be. So
what do they call that? What's that called? The pricing called? I forget what they call it.
God damn it, I can't remember. It's some kind of premium.
Yeah, but that's what you got to realize too. It's easy just to blame the company, but there's also a lot of it is it's Ticketmaster and the way that they do their premium seats or whatever they call it. I forget what they call it, but it's like, because even when I went to SmackDown, and I forgot how cheap I got my tickets. When I went to SmackDown, I got my seats in the 100 section for $45. And then it was plus fees and everything else. So it all came out to like $60. And I bought 2 tickets because I thought my uncle would want to go. And then by the time like it came around, the tickets were in the 200 were selling for $250. And because they had no seats left, and so the prices, they went down as it got closer. But I ended up selling my other ticket because my uncle couldn't go, and I paid for both of them, you know? So it's like, you know, if you're a smart fan, you believe in the product too, you can always, you know, sell your tickets. The other thing I would tell you too, as a fan, is buy them on the pre-sale, and then buy the insurance. And then if you can't go or something happens, the only thing you're eating the cost of is the price of the insurance, you know? So it's like, you know, it's like, and you're going to save more money that way than waiting later on. And then you only have premium seating, that's the premium seating left. And you're paying 3 times the price because you didn't just buy them during the pre-sale. And a shout out to you know, if you're on X, just follow Wrestle Tickets, and they'll most of the time they put the pre-sales on there, you know, or if you're a fan of the product, they will usually send you an email when you're area. So you just got to be a more kind of just plugged in fan, and it's not even being like really proactive, because it's just, if you buy them the day of, you're going to get cheaper prices. You just got to understand the way the business model works. I mean, again, because we were saying, no, they raise their prices. And it's like, yeah, but I got second row seats for $86. So again, it's Ticketmaster is just as much as it is AEW.
And one thing I will go on a positive with what our experience was, I didn't think there was anything bad about it, other than I don't think we needed to be to the arena so stinking early.
Yeah, yes, we got to remember, if there's only 3,000 people, you're not going to wait long to get in line. So you guys left here early.
Well, yeah, no,
but you're used to WWE where there's 10,000 people, so I get it, you know.
Oh yeah, but usually if you wait a little bit, I will say this about the Utah arenas, they're actually pretty smooth sailing as far as getting us in and seated. So I don't know what it's like outside other than Colorado, but we were able to get in seated right away. So
Yeah, I just wish they'd change the seats.
yeah,
Did you guys when people were leaving? Did they let you guys move up if you wanted to,
we
or
could
you guys don't even try?
we could have if we wanted to, but based on our view, I don't know if you saw what our pictures on when I posted on Twitter. We didn't really have that bad of a view.
No,
Right?
Yeah.
It was pretty damn good. So there was no sense for us to really change seats.
I think the only other thing that TK could have done with this to make it a little bit better was just cut down on the amount of matches for the Ring of Honor.
Yeah, for me, I think
There was a lot of really fast matches that were just pointless.
I felt bad for Eddie Kingston though.
Yeah,
He was
he was the finisher for Collision and the beginner.
for a Ring of Honor tape.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, you can't.
Why?
I looked at that. I'm like, oh god.
He got as long as it took them to change out the gear on the ring and in the arena
Yeah,
for a break in between.
yeah. I looked at. I was watching
Did,
Eddie.
did, did, did they let him smoke a cigarette in the ring? Did someone bring him a smokes?
Oh, good lord! I'm just sitting there thinking, God, I can only imagine what he's thinking in his head right now. I'm like, God damn, Tony Khan, what the fuck you thinking on this? And blah blah blah. But no, I mean, if you're a hardcore wrestling fan, it would have been a great show.
Yeah.
I
think to like what. Go ahead.
I am a little disappointed with our Salt Lake crowd not having.
I think a lot of them were just there to be on TV.
I think that's pretty much what the most part is they just wanted to be on AEW
But the real
live.
us real diehards, we stayed.
And you know, I mean, the crowd reaction that did stay was awesome. So, it was.
We even had a local show up.
We did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we had a local wrestler
We
that
had
was
a
in the Ring of Honor.
We had a local independent pro wrestler, Marty. God, I'm trying to remember what his last name was.
I don't remember. He was a good wrestler though.
He took.
Oh, Marty the Moth. He used to wrestle on Lucha Underground.
Oh yes, he wrestled in Helico, I believe.
Yeah,
it was. So, yeah, it was fun. Hello, Trisha. Welcome to the. So yeah, I mean, other than that, the only thing I would have said is, Salt Lake, please, if you're gonna attend a show, at least show some support to these guys because they come out all this way just to put on a good show for us.
Not just support, but respect too. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
if you really didn't want to be here at the show, don't come.
Exactly. I was a little disappointed with that part. Is there's so much wrestling to put on, and that's what kills those Ring of Honor crowds. I think right after Collision's done, it's people don't want to stick around for it, and I think Ring of Honor should be shown a little more love. But in fairness, I think they need to find a way to.
They need to keep those separated.
Well, they need to separate.
But it's also, but just what you guys to counter it to me, like you guys got to remember though, it comes down to the fact that they're already paying all that money for that arena. They're already there. I get why he's filming it there, but it doesn't feel like Ring of Honor. It feels like AEW Dark Light, and again, it's one of the things where it's just from a cost point. I get it, it is what it is.
I mean, they could even give like a 1 or 2 hour,
break in between.
Yeah. Just 2 different start times on the same day.
That's a smart idea.
Another thing that would be awesome is just, I think it's time to get Ring of Honor exposed better. I mean, I don't think having the Honor Club is really doing them any favors, especially at $10 a month, unless you're going to start including the Ring of Honor pay-per-views with it.
Which I think they are. I think they're starting.
Or are they going to go to that model now?
I thought that's what I read somewhere, that it said that this new one, the next one's included in it.
Oh, cool. Well, actually, why don't we kind of talk?
But just really quick to what you guys said, I think also if they just book stronger matches, and that's the one thing where Tony Khan needs to quit. He needs to quit protecting the win-loss records and just start booking these guys to win or lose. And if he was booking stronger cards, people will be part more into it too.
Yeah, that would definitely help.
And and then like you're saying, if it's a crowd that's not familiar with the product, he should have used more ex-WWE guys on the Ring of Honor side of it. That's what I would have done.
Or promote it better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah. But
Don't-
that's
you don't
that's what he needs to quit doing. Like here in California, he went into an arena that's going to be that WWE was at, and this I think Encino, California. So he couldn't even start promoting it till after the Raw, and it's like, why would you do that when you have so many other arenas to go into? It's like he quit trying to be like, you're never going to be WWE, dude. Like, just accept it. And again, we love AEW. We're all fans of the product, but you're not going to be WWE. Just quit worrying about trying to go in their house and go somewhere else to where you can promote it more. It just makes no sense what he's doing.
Well, I think the mentality I think he's in is if he gives more pro wrestling in one shot, it's going to be better, which it's not. I mean, you're going to get the fans not only disinterested, but they're going to be tired of it real quick. We need to, again, separate the shows from each other. One, I wouldn't be having Ring of Honor titles on AEW or AEW titles on Ring of Honor, just like Ted the Hillbilly Hills mentioned a couple of times. He's flat out pointed that's a big problem right there, because you're not keeping brand identity separate. And if he works on that part real quick, if he works on that model, that will be one of the biggest things that will help out both brands under his ownership.
Or to me, when they put a big thing out earlier and there was a draft thing, like, to me, have Ring of Honor just on Collision, like, just keep it on Collision, like, and that's the only place, like, but keep it off of Dynamite, like, that's to me, like, I would have, like, even now, like, the way it is, like, if you're gonna work with CMLL or whatever, have CMML New Japan sometimes on Dynamite, and then make Collision just Ring of Honor, and then if you have AAA people, but like, keep them separated so they each have a flavor. Because if you're gonna, all the fans know they're filming it the same day, so if you're gonna have it show up on TV, have it only show up on Collision, and then that way you could that's the way to have champions on Collision as well.
I wouldn't be as far as toying the idea. Just get rid of Rampage and put Ring of Honor in Friday slot. I think that would make it a lot better, to be honest. So,
but you're still going into the fact that they're still filming it in the same, they're still going to film it in the same arena, so it's just, he just has to decide, like, honestly, to me, it just comes down to brands. He needs to do brand splits, and that's it. And just be like, if you want to see this person, they're only going to be on Collision and Ring of Honor. If you're going to see this person, they should only be on Dynamite.
Yeah, but look at the roster on Ring of Honor compared to AEW. Wouldn't it make more sense to have Ring of Honor as a 1 hour spot on TV?
Oh, I agree. Yeah, like I said, I'm not arguing with you. Like, and that's, like, I'm saying that's fine. Like, that's, if you want to film it with that, then do it. Go ahead. Like, I have no problem with that.
Yeah, that's the direction that he would go with, in my opinion.
Because that's what I understand either. It's like, and then it's like, I think he feels like he's trying to give people value for their $10 by doing a 2 hour show, and it's like, no. If you just give them a 1 hour show with better matches, I feel like they would feel like they're getting their money, and then just once a month do a show and just do a show every month in Orlando at the Universal Studios and just call it a day. It doesn't, he's overthinking it and he needs to just dumb it down. Are you guys still there?
Yeah, we're just waiting for you.
Excuse me.
Oh, you're good. I just gotta tease you.
No, I was on ADD shit and I was looking at something else.
Yeah, me too. No. Well, we talk about Impact. They announced last night, right after their Bound for Glory pay-per-view, they are going back to total non-stop action. In case anybody missed that news, yes, Impact is going back to the TNA label. And thank the Lord, because I'm sorry, even when it was Impact, I was still calling it TNA. What's your thoughts on that, Carlos?
Tits and ass, baby. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, I knew he was going to say that.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was probably one of the best moves they've made, is bringing back the old school company name. And I thought they did a really great job on their pay-per-view card last night. What was your overall thoughts on it?
I thought it was really good. Like, I thought, like, I fell asleep. I'm going to go back and watch, like, the last match. I fell asleep.
Wait a minute. he said he was the top-notch podcaster taking notes, and he fell asleep.
Hey,
What the fuck?
hey.
Hold on, monkey. Do we usually cover Impact
Whoa.
Wrestling? No. So I watched all of AEW. I watched all of WWE, and for extra credit, I was doing Impact Wrestling. So don't even go there with me.
Hey, look at Trisha's comment there. I've never gotten to go to a show. Wisconsin sucks.
Hmm.
We need to.
Listen, AEW, you should go to Wisconsin. I mean, again, go to a new market. If they got an arena for 3,000 people, go do it. Why not?
Well, what the hell?
She's been dying to come back out here to Utah anyways. You might as well just move out here, Trish.
Yeah, we've been getting more wrestling shows than Green Bay, I think, lately. So, of course, I think that's more action than Green Bay, period. Of course, they have one of our guys there. So, poor Jordan Love.
Mm.
So, but anyways, sorry, finish your thoughts on Bound for Glory, Carlos.
But no, the whole time I'm watching it, and again, this is just my perspective. And again, just being honest, I'm like, if the rumors are true about NWA, like, you know, and they're getting to be on CW, and I'm watching Impact Wrestling, and I'm like, man, this is such a good product. I'm like, there's no reason why. If I'm, you know, I know that they're owned by Anthem, you know, but it's like, to me, it's like, if I was them, I would be trying to get on another network too, even though for them it's good content. But I just hope they get more eyes on the product, because it's really good. I mean, their presentation, their loyalty of their fans. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, it's a special product. It really is. The fans who are there, they're loyal to the product. They cheer every match. They keep the energy going. I just think overall the wrestling business is stronger than it's ever been right now, and I think it's good to just see so many people eating. I thought the first couple matches were amazing. I mean, I thought Kenta and I'm trying to mind fire here. Who did Kenta fight? I forget. Chris Sabin, who I love, that big nose motherfucker. Like him and Saban, and then ABC versus the Rascals. That was awesome. That was a good match. And then Ospreay and Bailey killed it. I mean, it was like, and then I know the rest of the show was good too. It's like, if they can do that, there's no reason why they can't go and get bigger, get more eyes on the product. It's like, if NBA is getting that, why can't they be bigger than they are? So I'm excited for the product. I was thinking CM Punk should go there, you know, like go and fix your image, you know, and humble yourself and go and go there for a while. But it's like, they're cooking, man. I was pleasantly surprised to see that Josh Alexander did not win the title back. So I think it's cool they kept on Alex Shelley. This is maybe what Kofi Mania should have been, you know, but I was surprised by that, but it was a pleasant surprise. And I'm glad to see that it looks like Trinity is going to be sticking around there too, because I think that she's doing a lot for that product there. I just thought overall it was a win-win. You have a lot of riches right now. And again, I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. I think the rebranding was a lot better, because when you mentioned Impact, you're like, Impact, even when we do our questions, people like Impact Wrestling, even when they answer back, they say TNA. So I think it was a smart decision to go back to total nonstop action. It makes all the sense in the world to me.
I have to say, one thing that kind of shocked me last night was watching Jordan Grace get that victory over Bully Ray. That was very impressive.
And that's the thing too. Like, people need to question on Bully Ray, because does he maybe steal some? Does he maybe, you know, could the spot be the guy sells? The guy knows what he's doing, and he put over a girl yesterday. So again, give the guy his flowers, man. He's, and again, to me, I feel like kudos to them for utilizing him, because just like Jeff Jarrett on AEW, I feel like Bully Ray still has a lot to give to the wrestling business. And if these other companies don't want to utilize him, kudos to Impact for utilizing him, because the guy is money.
But let's also not forget, we also saw Sonny Kiss in there too. That was a pretty awesome moment between Sonny and Bully Ray doing the "What's up?" So,
but I just thought at the same time, this is like, you know, I think they were trying to tease that CM Punk might be there, and so then they get people Sonny Kiss instead. But it's the right crowd to do that, because if it was like an AEW or W crowd, they would have shit all over that. But Impact Wrestling, they welcome all, and I think that's one thing about Impact fans, that they're just grateful for any talent they get there, because they're excited to see it. So I like the atmosphere. I love the fan base. I'm a fan of the product. With us, I switched to YouTube TV, so it doesn't come on no more on YouTube TV. Because I used to watch it on Dish, but if I'm home on a Thursday, I definitely put it on. Because it's a good product.
Well, aren't they still on Access TV?
Yes.
Yeah, so we have that with Envy Streams, and I'm not gonna complain because that's been a real benefit part of having it. Especially
yeah, but for me, with the only thing with Envy Streams is you can't record stuff, so that's the one thing where if I'm not home, I can't watch it.
Well, be home more, bitch.
Well, okay. Well, before with direct, well, keep liking keep retweeting my posts so I can quit my full-time job and live off of X. People please, so I can watch more wrestling. And then become the meme of the guy sitting at the computer with 500 pounds. But no, it is what it is. And again for the I'm not it is what it is. You gotta do what you can. But if I work on Thursday, because I forget. I just don't have, we only have, there's only so much product to consume. And I'm going to consume Ring of Honor first because they got Ethan Page right now. But no, it's just a really good product. And to me, I the whole time I'm watching the two, I just kept thinking, I want to know why AEW is not working with them no more. Because I think that's another forbidden door that could be open. They have a lot of good talent there, and I would love to see them fight. I want to see Speedball Mike. I want to see Speedball Mike Bailey versus Bryan Danielson. That's a match I want to see.
I want to see Speedball Mike Bailey and that nasty Leroy.
Oh, Jesus.
Didn't they have a match before?
I think he said that, yeah.
Yeah, I would love to watch that too.
Stiff Central.
You said it, not me. Anyways, no, I thought overall, I think Impact, now TNA, put on a really killer pay-per-view last night. And for anyone listening, I really, really want to just echo the statement that's said by many pro wrestling fans. I think that's one promotion that really could use some love. If you don't have access to Access TV or the channel Access, see if you can find it somewhere in your streaming package or whatnot. Because again,
they're not just that. I mean, they're doing deals. I mean, they're a product that wants to be out there. Like if you listen to Conrad Thompson's all of his different 20,000 podcasts, like they have promos with Jeff Jarrett, they have promos with different people where you can get Impact Plus, at half price too. So if you have the extra money, I mean, to me, I look at this and this is something I want people to look more about the wrestling business. Like if one of the big things that you hear, especially like at Christmas time and everything else is support small business. Well, the same should apply to wrestling, just like buying an independent wrestler's t-shirt, going on Pro Wrestling Tees, like go spend $5 a month, instead of buying another WWE t-shirt, go get that money to Impact Wrestling and watch their product on Impact Plus, because that's, to me, you're doing a lot more to help the business with that money to spend on that than buying another WWE t-shirt, Soapbox off.
Are you done? Before you interrupt any more thoughts? I was just going to say, just make sure you're aware of where your favorite promotions are on the programming if you can. Just try to support them, give them a chance, whether it's Honor Club, Impact, GCW, if you're into GCW stuff. I know it's a kind of an some popular deal there. I mean, WWE, you can find it anywhere already. NWA, I kind of think some people could give that a little bit better chance too. I like the fact that Billy Corgan's got a kind of an expanding game plan in place here. It looks like he wants to try to bring back the territories, which I would love it if he could do that, because that would definitely get some more opportunities out there to all the talents and whatnot. So, but yeah, I would, I would definitely love to see New Japan hit the U.S. a little better than what they do, because I feel like we're getting all the talent, but it's only because it's like a last minute deal for like some of the promotions, like they're not able to fill a card, and it's kind of a surprise, but nobody knows who they are. I think if we had a little bit better exposure with New Japan with all this talent, I think we get more interest in not just AEW, but with TNA, Ring of Honor. So, before we go any further, do you have any final thoughts there, Carlos?
Like, just again, just support this product, support the wrestling. And again, if they're coming to town, it's like, go see them live, like especially Impact. Like it was cool to hear that they sold out, or I should say TNA now. It's cool to hear they sold out that arena, like just support these talents and like give these companies, yeah. Just I agree. Just, and that's one thing I miss about AEW Dark, because, and I guess they're doing it now with but only on Saturdays. When they used to do AEW Dark at Dynamite, they would bring a lot of the homegrown talent in, and so that was a cool thing with me. Like when I would go, like when I'm in, like reading the local ads in Sacramento, I'm like, oh, I know these people now because they were on AEW. So I just think that that's a good thing that AEW is doing for all this different shows. Is like they're just giving they're allowing all these talent to be seen. So just go support these guys. If you see them on AEW TV, if you see them on Ring of Honor, if you see them at Impact and they're at a local show, go support these local promoters too. Like I just echo what you said.
Yeah, and in the future here, we're going to be looking at switching some things up. I'm going to hopefully get...
Okay, Vince. It's time to shake things up.
He said that shit to you.
Well, God, he's got to make sure he's the center of attention.
Dude, he called you Vince.
He's got to be Mr. Center of Attention on every little fucking thing here, I swear to God. But anyways, so, but no, we're... At some point, we would love to start promoting all the independent wrestling promotions as well. So, if you're an independent wrestling promotion listening to this podcast, please don't be afraid to get on my DMs on X and see where we can help promote your show events everywhere. I don't care if you're here locally in the U.S., Canada, Mexico, New Zealand, Iceland, or Antarctica. Is Ted the Hillbilly Hills the number one?
Mexico, come on, shout out for my people, damn you.
I said Mexico.
Oh, okay.
You dumbass. Way to pay attention there. Oh, I forgot.
I must have saw a mirror. It's all about me, so I got lost in my.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're dashing Carlos Estrada. So yes, if you are an independent wrestling promotion, please hit me up in the DM. You can see me there on my X app handle at WF Insight Podcast, or you can even contact Carlos or Bryan or Heather and let them know, give them the word to give to me. So
and just echo what you said too. If you're an independent wrestler and you're listening to this, or you see us on X, and you want to come on and talk about yourself, or talk about how you got into wrestling and promote your things. Like if you listen to our things, Leroy always does it at the end of our things when he joins us. That's we'd love to do that as well too.
And if you know somebody that would love to have a shot at being interviewed, we'd love to take that opportunity and interview them live here on the Wrestling Fans Insight, whether it's on Sunday Takedown or Carlos's space on Wednesday night there on the post AEW Dynamite show. But I don't really have anything else more to talk about. Will, you got anything? You're looking at me like,
how about that direction of Trick Williams?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
That was it.
That was it. Wow. Hey, Carlos, do you have anything else to kind of finish off for the day?
Oh, Carlos again finishing off. God, what's new? Just kidding. I want to just give a shout out to Mystico. I think that again, seeing how well he wrestled and on Friday night, I was like, why didn't we get this in WWE? But again, I just think I want to just give a shout out to Tony Khan for that too, because I feel like, like I was thought the thing was like, damn, Tony Khan's finally flexing his muscle, as far as like putting his foot down, and because the thing is, if you don't follow the wrestling business, AAA and CMLL do not get along, they're competitors. And so I just thought it was cool the fact that Tony Khan kind of flexed his muscle about what the promotion is, and got Mystico on Rampage. And if you weren't listening, the thing they said was that it helped them sell tickets, so because they're in Texas. So I just want to see more of that stuff, like we're talking about building the wrestling business. For me, I would just love to see more things where he's flexing his muscle to get these other promotions on TV, and putting his, and I don't think AAA is going to stop working with them because they had Mystico on there. So I'm just kind of excited to see how that all shakes out, because again, to me, like I love to see the wrestling business eating, and for me, getting to see the wrestlers make a living and do what they love to be passionate about just makes me happy.
And we will be back again Wednesday night for Carlos's WFI post AEW Dynamite show. That will be.
So I think we're gonna just rebrand it to Wednesday Night Chaos, and then we'll just put at the end, AEW WWE talk or something. We'll work on that.
Yeah, whatever. Now Carlos is just changing it as we're recording. So, but yeah. Feel free to join us Wednesday night live here, either on YouTube, Twitch, or our Facebook page, The Fans of Pro Wrestling. Or if you want to interact with us in the conversation, go to the X app and Spaces and go find Carlos. Carlos, what's your Twitter handles?
At C to the LOS 77, also at Conquer the No, and then also you can find me on Instagram at Rainbow Goodness _.
And also want to shout out our other two teammates who aren't with us, but Heather, you can follow her at Bama Girl _4 EVA, Bama Girl Forever. Also, Bryan the Hype Ballard, who was here with Carlos last week. You can find him on the X app at the Bryan Adkins. Also on YouTube at Tap Out Talk, who does a really great job with reviews on special events and premium live events / pay-per-views. William, I know you're not on the X app much, but you want to give your handle anyway.
I do see if I can remember this. At William Hoppe 8.
Oh, very hard one.
So he'll follow you back eventually if you go.
Hey, he's actually a 1-1 ratio now. He's 68 and 68. So
nice. We need to get him to 69. Come on now.
That's never gonna happen.
Whoa. But anyways, you can follow me on the X app at WF Insight Podcast. Also check us out on our website, WrestlingFansInsight.com or thefansofprowrestling.com. Also, you can check us out on Twitch. You can find us there under the.
That sounds convincing.
Why does he always got to have a side comment? I swear to God. But you can find us on Twitch at the Fans of Pro Wrestling, on YouTube at the Wrestling Fans Insight. And that's going to wrap it up for our segment. I do want to give a few podcast shout outs. Jim at the Fan in the Van, Jim and Garrett, is this a, you okay there?
No.
Jim and Garrett over at Steel Until Talk. Garrett also goes with Jalen on Two Dudes Sports News, 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. Today we laughed and learned. Chris and Deb, who do a wonderful job. If you're ever planning to travel to Las Vegas, I really encourage you to listen to Visit Vegas Places with Coyle. He does a really great job there talking about the local Las Vegas businesses. Austin Boyer there at the Wrestling World, and also BC Hunter, who does Wrestling with the Truth, but also Wrestling with the 80s. Carlos, do you have any shout outs to give?
Yeah, I want to just shout out King Reezy, that nasty Leroy, everyone else who joins us, usually on Wednesday nights. Just thank you guys. Tony Tornado, I think I'm drawing a blank here.
Chris
Haas, thank you. And then also just the Stage Up Network. We're proud members of the Stage Up Network. Listening to us and then everybody there, Jones and Willie and Rip, and then Straight Tippin', Royce, the Sage, just everyone there who's supporting us. We think, we again, it's a good community. They're helping us grow. They shout us out. Just again, we're proud members of the Stitch Up Network. Just thank you guys for having us, and we just keep on building together.
All right. William, do you have any shout outs to give?
I don't know if you would call it a shout out, but just a big thank you to everybody for being so supportive, understanding, and patient with us, especially me lately. I've had a rough run over the past couple of months. So I just really appreciate everybody sticking around. Thank you.
All right. Well, without any further ado, we don't have Chris Haas, so we're not going to do our normal outro. So we're just going to call it good. We'll talk to you all Wednesday night. Have a great time, everyone.